Hey everybody, and welcome to a game with featuring Gragas, the rabble rouser. And this game, I was actually trying to figure out what kind of role Gragas was to play for me. I mean, I didn't want. I wanted to test out whether he was an aggressive mid or a passive mid. What he was. That's what I've been doing with like mid lanes lately. Haven't been using Talon though because I already know that he's supposed to be aggressive early on in order to actually do anything. But with Gragas, I learned that you can kind of be passive or you can be aggressive depending on who the laner is. Against Ryze, depending on his item selection, you can be aggressive if you want to be, or if he's tanky, you probably just want to sit back and farm. So, in this game, I'll find that I made a few decisions that may have been good, may have been bad. I mean, I judged them right as I did them. I mean, that's kind of how I am sometimes. But let's get this started. You see I've got the Gragas Esquire skin because it looks amazing. He is a man of flabby class, as I'd like to say with this skin. And we've got Scone Thief as Soraka, so you'll see that we don't really... that our lanes didn't really mesh up very well. I mean, like... Usually you've got like a jungler or a mid duoing so that you can communicate plays, or you've got a top lane and jungle duoing and doing that, or you got support and AD carry duoing. I mean, I don't like shoving him in support. I mean, I'd prefer if he was in like a... I would prefer if he was in like a lane where he could actually like carry, because he can do it pretty well. But, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. I mean... whenever I support, I do pretty mediocre, and Eli's generally got a handle on things, so that's usually why I'm comfortable with him supporting as well. Because, contrary to popular belief, support does take a bit of skill to do, otherwise you can't just have someone that's not very skilled at it doing it, because you're basically responsible for the AD carry's life, even if you don't like him. So, we'll see how this game goes. Well, I know how this game goes, but... this game went pretty well. I mean, I don't remember if early on we did very well or not. I do remember that our top lane Kennen wasn't, remarkable, but he wasn't bad either. I mean, we gave Skarner some damage on his wolves, so they didn't take as much damage from blue, and so that he could get a bit more experience and everything. And right there, I trust that Kennen can. Take responsibility for that leash. I mean, otherwise I would have given him a longer leash. And right here, I'm just kind of last hitting. I want to see if this Ryze is going to be aggressive or not, because sometimes when you're mid lane as someone like this, like someone melee against Ryze, you want to gauge how your lane opponent is going to be, when they're going to attack you. I mean, I just realized that if I am to go past Ryze, I'm going to be attacked. So sometimes you have to gauge your zones. And right there, he's just kind of focused on last hitting, just like I am. Whenever I see that he's kind of being aggressive, I just kind of back off a little bit, or I harass back. As you can see, his burst all throughout the game is pretty substantial. I mean, he falls off a little bit, but it's no big deal. And you'll see right here, Jarvan kind of ganked Scone Thief, so there wasn't a whole lot he could do. He's kind of known for being sort of a bit too aggressive as Soraka. He like auto-attacks them and everything. You'll see later on that for some reason Graves and Janna think there's nothing you can do if a Soraka harasses you. When they don't realize that all you have to do really is attack him back. Anyway, some of you newcomers might be wondering what makes Gragas a very strong laner. Well, on top of his burst, he's got infinite sustain because of that drink move that you just saw there. That drink move gives him extra mana back. It's not very much, mind you, but I mean, it's not bad either. It gives you the mana sustain that a lot of other characters at mid lane don't really have. In addition, he has mobility. You haven't seen me do it yet, but he has a body slam move where he moves a little bit towards a unit or away from one or whatever, and covers a bit of ground. when he does that, he slows the unit when he collides into them, and it does quite a substantial amount of damage. So, usually, it's used as... And right here, I just kind of don't understand how much damage Rise can really do. And it hurts. And so I realize that right now I can't really be aggressive without my jungler's help. So that's exactly what I wait on. You don't really... The lane matchups aren't all that it's important. You don't just want to gauge the importance of attacking a mid laner or something just by the fact that, oh yeah, he's a weaker laner than I am. No, you have to gauge how much damage he's going to do within a certain amount of time, and see how aggressive he's going to be, gauge all of that. See, like, if Gragas had to be an aggressive laner, then this would be a really bad situation for me. But no, I don't really have to be. All I have to really do is sit back and last hit and push the lane a little bit. Because Rise before 6 is very single target oriented, and it's really hard for him to push the lane as hard as I can. So it's really what I try to do, is I try to deny him a bit of experience. In addition to not being killed by Jarvan, because he proved himself capable earlier on. But yeah, Rise is at really low health. If I had more mana, I'd probably go in on this or something, but I really don't have the mana to spare. My body slam's cooldown is probably up by now, but again, there's not a whole lot I can do. I don't want to dive on the turret. I'm constantly paranoid of Jarvan hanging around, seeing if I do something stupid. So, not much is happening here. Let me just fast forward through this. I'm just farming. Oh yeah, another thing to add is, if you didn't see that, was you can keep your barrel out for a substantial amount of time, and when you keep it out, the cooldown starts when it explodes, not when you throw it out. Well, actually, the other way around. I don't even know how Jarvan got down there. I mean, oh yeah, and then we turn on Jarvan. I would have been able to do more, except... Yeah, and oh man, and then we got both flashes out. I don't know why Rise flashed. See, one of the biggest mistakes a lot of mid laners make is not checking on the other laner's mana. If you can check on the other laner's mana, you can usually gauge whether you can actually attack them or not, or kill them or whatever. And right there, I wanted to do something there, but I didn't have any mana. And if I if I had mana, I probably could have ulted Xin Zhao and killed him right there so that he didn't kill Skarner. But what can you do? You know, right when you got no mana, you've really exhausted your use as a mid laner at that point. But yeah, this is just me heading back to lane. Blah blah blah. I mean, okay. Anyway, as I was saying about having mana, gauging the person's mana, you have to really pay attention to how much mana your fellow laner has, because if you don't, then you can really overestimate your opponents and close windows of opportunity to be aggressive. Granted, as Karthus, you're not going to have that much of an opportunity because they will probably out-trade you, and you'll probably lose out on a lot of farm. But if you're a character like Gragas, who has like basically infinite mana sustain, you might as well go ahead and be aggressive when they have no mana, because you're pretty much going to always come out on top, especially with the mobility you have. But I don't... Did Jarvan take that blue away from... He did. He took blue away from Rise. I'm not quite sure why. You usually want to give Rise your blue. I mean, the blue buff, because that will keep Rise able to put out a lot of damage, especially if they have a Tear of the Goddess, which unfortunately this Rise didn't have. Well, fortunately for me, but not fortunate for him. This Rise didn't have a Tear of the Goddess that early, but if he did, then getting blue buff would have been a lot more important, because that's where his damage comes from, because Rise scales off mana. But I digress. Talking more about Gragas. I see that Rise is trying to be aggressive. It's really easy to see whenever he's going to try to be, because he just walks up to you like an idiot. But whenever he did, I just did that, and then I got free damage off of him, so no big deal. I mean... Right here, I don't remember if we killed him or not. I mean, let me see. Looks like Skarner's waiting right here. He's going to try to go around through here and hit him right here. But, I think... Oh, yeah. I go in on him right here. And, for some stupid reason, this Rise decides, hey, it might be a smart idea to actually go back in on Gragas when I'm at that low health. I think he was trying to bind, but he accidentally used the wrong spell, so then it ended up just killing him. Granted, that just kind of gave me the psychology to actually go in on that. I mean, the mentality to go in on Rise. Because I could have easily just done that on my own, and Skarner being there was just a crutch, I suppose you could say. As in, like, if something went wrong or if Rise turned on me, then he'd kill Rise, or we'd both kill Rise together. Skarner is actually really good about going all around the map, and it's really cool of him because my lane is certainly not the most important, and something that a lot of APs don't understand, a lot of laners don't understand in general, is that your jungler can't just babysit your lane all day. I mean, unless you're facing a character that's easily campable, like Malphite or something like that, you usually don't want to go in and, like, make it known that you, the jungler, are only camping one lane, because it's just going to allow the enemy jungler to counter jungle you, or it's going to end badly for you, is what I'm saying. I mean, and then right here, I just use that as a zoning mechanic, because if he gets close to me, then I can just detonate it. And look, right after that, I just use that right away. He does more consistent single target damage, and that's what gives him the edge, but really, other than that, he can't really do much yet. I mean, Rise is certainly a late game character, who, by the way, I'm not very particularly good at, so if you guys want a Rise video, I apologize, but I'm going to have to get a good one in before I do that. But let me, once more, this is just passive farming, so let me just fast forward through this. I go ahead and B and get a sight ward because I'm cool like that, and I don't want Jarvan to destroy my face. I mean, this Jarvan was pretty good about ganking, so I didn't know. And right here, I knew that Rise was going for my blue buff. And right here, I go ahead and try to kill Rise here. I mean, we do quite a bit of damage to him. I wanted to get this Jarvan, but I don't think we could get him. Oh, wait, no, yeah, we can. It just takes us a little longer, because Gragas' mobility and low mana costs on his E, which, by the way, unfortunately, is getting nerfed, means that he's a very, very good chaser, and that's one of the things I like about him, too. Overall, Gragas is very flexible, not necessarily in how you build him, because he really isn't, but more so in flexible in how you play him, because early on you can be a massive lane bully, or you can be more of a passive farmer, along the lines of that. So, really, that's one of the reasons I like him so much, is because of that. Granted, they're going to make him a bit more late game oriented because of the fact that they're increasing his mana cost on his E by 25, but I don't really mind that. It didn't really affect how I played. It just affected the early snowballing way that people played. Because, I mean, damage-wise, Gragas is snowball reliant, but not so much utility-wise, because all throughout the game he's going to be very mobile, and all throughout the game he's also going to have that ultimate that's just game-changing, and it's just so good. And right here, I didn't know if I could land it, but I got it. Yeah, there we go. And then Graves was being aggressive on Soraka, so I was like, you know what? Screw you too, man. And I destroy his face too. But yeah, I killed Caveman Carter. I am a very happy boy for killing Caveman Carter. And we go ahead and get this dragon. And yeah, it's very fortunate for us that Graves' move kind of cost them a dragon, put us even further ahead of them. And by the way, I wasn't even really trying to kill Graves, I was just trying to get him away from Soraka. Yeah, this game, I got really snowballed, and it was pretty silly. I don't remember if we got Rise here. I mean, I think, yeah, there we go. This is where I wanted to be aggressive on him. But man, I thought Skarner was going to help me because he was pinging him, and he was right there. But instead, he went for the wolves, and it kind of threw me off. I mean, I really wish he hadn't done that, but what can you do? I don't know why he pinged it right then. I mean, He was way too late on that. He should have moved in on that a lot sooner. I went in on that because I thought he'd be there, but what can you? Once again, what can you do, right? Teammates. And that was really reflexive. I remember that part perfectly. I saw that Rise was ghosting in. I knew something was up. And then when he flashed, I just went, oh, E! Gotta E as fast as I can. And I got out of there. And thankfully, it made my anus a little smaller. So that was wonderful. As in, like, you know, I didn't want to get destroyed. Yeah, I'm just kind of trying to keep Rise away from me because I don't want him to destroy me. And right here, ooh, this Skarner. And this Rise seals his fate because he turns around to bind him. When in reality, all he had to do was use his ultimate. All he had to do was use his ultimate and get out of there because it gives him movement speed, which is something a lot of Rises forget. And so that's that. I mean, I'm going to try playing Rise a bit more passively sometimes, but not all the time. And we'll see how it works, because being consistent, I mean, his damage is consistent and everything, but usually, hang on, I want to see if something comes out of that, because I don't exactly remember this game. We're just kind of poking back and forth. I don't remember if anything happens here, but it's just me being a drunk. And, I'm just waddling my fat ass back to mid lane and drinking that power beer, like power thirst all day long, and I didn't like that. Also, something that people don't understand about Gragas is the fact that he can really wear down his opponent while, as it seems, it will seem like he can. It will seem like he doesn't get that much sustain, but his passive really gives him a lot more sustain than people know. And right here, I decided, hey, you know what? Why not go in on this, right? And so I did. And I killed him. I didn't really even know that I'd be able to kill him. Well, I did, but early on I didn't. I was like, you know what? I want to get away from this Rise. I don't want to get bound and then have Jarvan like gank me or something because I'm ahead. Because I had quite a hefty bounty on me at that point, and I didn't want any sort of unfortunate. I didn't know what that teleport was for. Any sort of unfortunate knock-up bind combo that they could have had, and that was something I was always wary of. So, anyway, we had this engage going on, and it was pretty silly. And I don't think we got anything out of this. Pretty sure we didn't. If I had only thrown one more barrel at him, sure I could have killed him, but I didn't really want to overextend myself and get like bound or something and get destroyed. Once more, sometimes my pitfall is that I'm way too cautious, and I gotta get out of that habit. And let's see. Oh man, that's quite a hefty chunk. Caveman Carter is. Oh man, I didn't even know that he was binding. I just wanted to ult in like that. I'm pretty sure we could have killed him without the bind, but that was just some overkill right there, and I'm pretty sure Kennan's loving us for that because that was his first kill of the game. But I digress. I believe we take their blue and we laugh at them because they really can't control their jungle at this point. They're way too far behind. And we just kind of go ahead and back right now while we're ahead and everything. I go ahead and get my blasting wand. I got a Negatron Cloak early on too because I wanted to keep the Negatron Cloak for the defense. But if I got ahead enough, I'd just go ahead and get my Rabadon's Deathcap. And but if I died early on and I didn't have enough money or something like that, or if if people were building a bit of magic resist or something like that, I could have been easily flexible and got my Abyssal Scepter. So there was some reasoning behind that. This Xin Zhao got a bit too greedy. We go ahead and clean him up. I believe, yeah, he thinks that he can fight all of us, and he doesn't realize that he can't. And then he gets destroyed. I don't know if killing a cannon that was already behind was worth it, but I certainly hope so in Xin Zhao's case, because he's the only one with a positive score on his team, unfortunately. So, this is just me farming again. I got blue buff. I can pretty much spam all my beer barrels and stuff, or rather, classy beer glasses or beer jugs, if I may say so myself. See, right here, I go ahead and get my Rabadon's Deathcap because I'm already ahead. I've got plenty of magic resist. I'm not too worried about their graves because I could easily kill him because he's so far behind. I am a little worried about Xin Zhao, but most of the time he seems to have some kind of death wish for Kennen, so I'm not exactly sure what that's all about. Really, what they should have done is just focused all their efforts on me. If they had knocked me up twice with a Jarvan Xin Zhao combo and then just bound me, pretty much all our damage would be gone. I mean, in all honesty. I was a little worried about this. I don't know why I used that ultimate so badly. That was a really bad ultimate on my part. And the reason I say that isn't so much that I did damage to everybody. I mean, it was like, oh, well, okay, well. It wasn't so much that I missed out on damage or something, or that I screwed up the team fight. It was more so that I hit everyone out of the Kennen ultimate. What I should have done is I should have used it as like a finisher or something, so that everybody would have had to get the fuck out of there. Like, when you have a Gragas on an AoE team, you have to really be wary of your teammates and everything, and be wary of how your ultimate can affect them. Anyway, that's a surrender. It's GG for us. We were all really ahead, and that was a really good Gragas game in my opinion. So go ahead and tell me what you guys think about this Gragas commentary. Comment, like, do whatever you want, or favorite it. Criticize me for not getting enough last hits. That's cool too. I'll talk to you guys later. Maybe upload a Galio commentary later on tonight or tomorrow or something like that. Just tell me what you think, and I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.